Hello. Hi, everyone. Good morning. I'm really excited to be on today because I am talking about basically how to have a successful faith filled business. So, a lot of people, go out and they start these businesses, and sometimes the motivation is like all money. It's like, I need to make this amount of money, I need to do this, I need to do that. And I'm here to tell you that if your biggest motivation is money, then that might be all that you ever get. And you won't have any satisfaction of what you're doing because you're not taking it seriously. Because for me, businesses only run based on faith because everything is not going to go perfect. Everything is not going to be smooth. There are going to be some rough patches along the way, but when you have faith in what you're doing and you are allowing God to guide you and be your source of strength, you'll be able to pull through this. So I have given you guys like a couple of tips of how to have a faith-filled business. Number 1, find your why. So you need to know why you are doing this. Like, why are you starting a business? What is it? Like, what motivates you or inspires you? Or most of all, like, what makes you mad? What would you love to do to help someone? So I know for me, something that makes me upset is when I know that a child needs a lot of help in their academics. And that's why I started Limitless Learning Tutoring, because I have always been a tutor. I've always helped people, whether they're in kindergarten or they're in like their senior year of college. I'm helping them write a paper. Like, it's just always been that way. And I don't like to see people continuously struggle. I like to see them to making a lot of progress. And I also felt called, and not felt, I still feel called to work in that area of ministry. It's just like that's where I'm supposed to be, and that's my why. And I know that I'm making a difference. I know that I'm making an impact. And even in other things that I've started, like She's Worthy, and um, y'all will learn about some more things in the future, but the publishing company, the coaching industry that I've stepped into, like, those are things that I feel like I do because I feel like it is a form of ministry, and that I'm able to really like help people at the end of the day. Does the money come with it? Absolutely. That's a part of it. But your main focus has to be on really helping the people and showing them how to live a better life and having more success. And in turn, like, you will be blessed because you are blessing others. The second thing to have a faith-filled business is transforming your mind. Like, it takes a lot. It takes a lot when you are running a business, because what can happen is that you have like old thought patterns of dealing with things. For example, it's not just about you anymore. Like, it's about other people. And so when it's about other people, like, you have to consider them, but at the same time, like, you have to work on yourself continuously, right? How can you work on yourself? First off, your relationship with God. I know some people, they think, oh, well, I've made it, I don't really have to worry about that. I have to, because God tests you through your businesses. And if you haven't faced any tests in your businesses, you will. So a test could be, maybe you don't have enough money to get the place you want. Maybe you are dealing with people who are being like spiteful towards you, or maybe you feel like people aren't as supportive of you. That's not them. That's God working on you and showing you have to depend on Him as your source, as your strength. And if you are so focused on depending on other people to give you handouts and to do things for you, it is going to cripple you, and you'll never get to where you want to be because you're dependent on the wrong person. You also have to work on your relationship with yourself and always get back to that why you're doing what you're doing, and take care of yourself. I was actually talking to one of my business partners, and we were saying like how in ministry within a church, there's a lot of talk about, oh, you can't be selfish, oh, you can't take time for yourself, and it's not all the time taught about the importance of that relationship with yourself. And a lot of pastors and people in ministry, like, they get so burnt out. They're so tired, they're so drained because they're so focused on everybody else and they haven't filled their cup. And when you are in business, like, you have to make sure everybody is getting what is overflowing from your cup, not what's in your cup. What's in your cup is for you. And so you have to make sure that you are freely flowing from the overflow to give to other people. And you need to also think about what your relationship is with those people. What boundaries have you put in place to be able to help them successfully so that you can have a well-balanced life with your family, so that you can be productive? This is all important. And even your thought process behind dealing with money. A lot of people in business, they just think the money will come. Well, of course the money will come, but if you don't know how to manage the money, then that's going to be a problem in itself. And then when you're so dependent on the money, no, the money is a tool that God gives you. He gives you that ability to create that wealth, but you have to manage it and you have to be a steward over it. And just because that money may be tight for the moment or maybe a little bit difficult for the flow, like, you have to believe that God is going to send exactly what you need. I had a couple people, and I'm totally not against, agencies supporting businesses and grants and things like that. And the thing is that when you are so tied up into receiving certain flows of income, as far as, things like grants and things, it's like sometimes you close yourself off to other opportunities, and you just have to trust that God is going to give you exactly what you need. And you have to have extreme trust in God and his declaration for abundance. Like, this isn't an option. It's not, does God want to bless me? Does God want to give to me? No, like, he has already said it. It's yours. You just have to free yourself to be able to accept it and to be able to receive it into your life. The third thing after you transform your mind is taking massive action. Stop sitting around and not doing anything. I know a lot of people, want to say, like, oh, I need to go out there. I need to hustle. I need to grind. You can hustle and grind all day, but that doesn't mean that you're getting the results that you need. I'm not saying that you just have to sit back, but, like, take inspired action. Inspired action is when you have ideas that truly mean something, that are going to get you further. Like, true ideas, like strong, powerful ideas. Like, for example, I know with me, one idea that I had was just the tutoring business in general. Like, that was an inspired action. So what I started to do, I made the website first. And then I started setting up, like, how are people going to pay me? I started thinking about how I'm going to market this. And the more that you take those steps, it makes a huge difference. And it's going to get you further, but it has to be inspired. You can't just go out and just try 20,000 different things and then you're wondering why you're burnt out, why you don't have the results you want to see. Like, you have to get serious about the results, and taking action is a must. Number 4, invest like crazy. Invest like crazy. I know it's scary. I know it's scary to invest because you may feel like, well, I don't have this. I don't have, but that in itself is choking up your opportunities for blessings, because by saying what you don't have, you're not allowing God to give it to you. Invest in yourself and take personal development seriously. I have 2 coaches that I'm working with because I know that, like, I have to get further in my life. I know that I love my businesses, so that means that I have to be better for my businesses, and I can't just sit around and, pretend like there's nowhere for me to grow or I'm perfect already. No. And then whoever is working for you, you have to develop them. You have to take the time to craft them and mold and shape them so that they can be better. Because at the end of the day, if your business can't run without you, I mean, you're basically stuck with a headache. And that's not something that you should really want. You should want to continuously grow and to get better with your staff, so that when it's time for you to maybe move on to the next project, you can trust the staff that you have to be able to work with what you've already established. And you should upgrade to get the things that you want to be where you want to be. A lot of people think, well, I'm just going to stay with, oh, this is the big thing. Like, I'm just going to do, everything old school. I'm just going to do everything, with cash. I'm not going to worry about getting the new thing. Like, I'm not saying you have to do everything that everybody else does or every new thing that comes out. But when it's time to make those jumps and upgrade, like, don't be afraid. Like, God will provide and God will take care of you and your needs, guys. Like, I am telling you this because this is me. Like, I am literally living faith, like faith filled. Like, I have no choice but to trust God. Like, when I took a leap and got like certain systems in place, and that it was hard for me because I felt like, gosh, like, where am I going to get this from? Like, God came through. And even now, like, I'm facing a test and I know that God is going to come through. Guys, this is like not a game. This is not a joke. I don't know, if you are seriously committed to your business and you know what it's like when you go through hard times, like, you can really relate. But you have to just trust God. The fifth thing, guys, is to reflect graciously, to be thankful for what God has given you and how far you've come. Y'all, I actually legally formed Limitless Learning Tutoring in August 2016. So it hasn't even been a year. Well, it'll be a year next month. Yeah, exciting. But thinking about how far I came, like, what I was doing, like, this was just a side hustle for me. Like, that's what it was. Like, and I wasn't even trying to really, like, do it like that. Like, I just kept getting called and asked, like, hey, you tutoring? Hey, you tutoring? And that's when it turned into something. And it's just crazy, like, as I look back over it, and I'm like, wow, like, God really used this. God really allowed me to do something with this. And now that I have employees, and now that we have, like, we've been through 2 buildings in a year, and we're just constantly growing. It's just like, wow. Like, guys, I remember tutoring at my kitchen table. Like, I remember doing that, and I'm not going to forget that, and I'm going to continue to reflect because I know how far God has brought me. God has brought my family. I mean, I'm even able to employ, like, family members. Like, this is huge for me. But it all is all about faith. And it's about trusting God even in the hard times, even when you don't see how a way is going to be made. Like, it's not meant for you to see every single way. It's meant for you to trust God with all of your being and with everything that you are. And when you trust Him, your faith-filled business has no choice but to succeed. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope this helped you guys. Stay committed to your business. Stay committed to you. And do what has to be done for your business to be successful.